Hello again, everybody, and welcome to an all-new episode of Road Trip After Hours. I'm your host, Mac Davis, along with my WWE Hall of Famer co-host, Mr. Teddy Long. Hey, Teddy.
Hey, good afternoon, the Maxter. Here we are once again, Road Trip After Hours.
Yeah, by the way, Teddy, I think maybe we might want to mention this too. If I had a lot of people send messages asking where the last show was last week, Hurricane Helene came through Georgia and created just one hell of a mess. Power's still out in a lot of places as we speak today, a week later, and people are really needing help in a lot of areas, including in North Carolina, Florida, South Carolina. So wherever you are, hopefully you didn't sustain any major damage and that you're okay. And hopefully the power, if you don't have power yet, or if you're just using your phone watching this right now with nothing else but your phone, we hope that you get your power on soon.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you mentioning that too, man, because that was some real serious stuff happening out there. And I happened to be over in the Carolinas when it first started on that Tuesday, that Wednesday, and I happened to leave that Thursday morning and got back home before it really got bad. So, yeah, man, our prayers go out to all those people out there that are still without power and, suffering. So, just give it to God and everything will be all right.
Yeah, and Teddy knows I got a house full of people. I've got grandbabies here. I've got kids here because they still don't have power and they got to have somewhere to stay. So needless to say, I'm going crazy. And this is like a vacation for me to get away and talk to Teddy and our guest today. And by the way,
they just, and then we're going to get to our guests, but those grandkids, they just told you that they didn't have power. They got power. They just came over to get on your nerves.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest with you. That's something they would do. Hey, this is October, and that means this is October Frights. And our first guest this month is a man that has a very frightening record. He was the vision of Vince McMahon, who was looking for a monster to compete against WCW's Goldberg. And he found that person, a beast with an unmatched win-loss record. That man is our guest, and that man is Gilberg. Hey, Gilberg, how you doing, brother?
All right, how you doing, brother, man? How's everything going?
Man, it's going great. A lot of people are probably wondering why I put you in the, the October Frights. The fact of the matter is, when they brought you to WWE to be that Goldberg kind of character, that was frightening for a lot of people to see you come out, because you're coming out totally against what Goldberg was doing. Goldberg had all the pyro and crazy stuff going on, headbanging, and you would come out and he'd just have sparklers going off for you.
Oh, I loved it.
I thought that was fantastic. First of all, tell me how you got into the business, Duane.
I actually got into the business. I was a fan my entire life, from when I could walk till now. You know what I mean? Yeah. And me and my dad used to watch it every single week. It only came on once a week back then. Well, I used to, Barry Hardy was my partner, and I used to live right next to him at an apartment complex. And I used to say, "Come on, Barry, man, wrestle's on." He said, "I ain't watching that stuff, man. I ain't watching that stuff." Well, then we moved apart because we both got married, and he saw Hulk Hogan live. And then once he saw that, he said, "I got to be a wrestler." So he went to the Monster Factory and became a wrestler. Yeah. Well, I'm watching wrestling one night, and I go, "Whoa, hey, babe, ain't that Barry, but a lot bigger?" He goes, "Yeah, that is." And it, put his name up and everything. So I called his mom. That's the only number I had. And she said, "He's home." That was pre-recorded. I was like, "Cool." So I called. She gave me his number. I called him. He lived a quarter mile from me.
Whoa! Wow!
Yeah. I went over his house, and that night I started learning on a concrete floor with a piece of carpet on it.
One thing I noticed when I was looking a little bit into your background, and I don't mean any offense to when I say this, please don't take it. When I was reading, I didn't realize you had been with WWE for quite some time before you ever became that Gilberg character.
Oh, yes, sir. I was a jobber. I mean, and I'm proud to say a jobber because, and Teddy, man, might even agree with me, I'm not enhancement. Enhancement talent to me is a dog, a manager that doesn't wrestle. Yeah. Just enhances the match. You know what I mean? A piece of clothing, something like that, enhances the match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, a job, everybody does a job in every match.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's doing the job. So I was a jobber. I lost every match. I was out there doing the job. That was my job.
Well, you understood exactly what your position was. And when we use the word enhancements, that's just a word that they dress up.
Yes, sir.
But at the end of the day, you still did that job.
Thank you very much, Teddy. I'm so glad to hear you say it. You know, because I was a jobber. That's what I was.
And ain't nothing wrong with that. Man, I put up the rings, took the ring down. Went and got jackets and stuff. So ain't nothing wrong with that. This is how you make it in this business. You started from the bottom, now you make it to the top.
And I don't care who you are, Duane, if you've been in the WWE and you were there for quite some time, too, that's a hell of an accomplishment. I don't care who you are. There's not many people who get that opportunity and can work themselves to keep that opportunity sticking around, and which I guess is why you got promoted into that Gilberg character. They saw something in you that they knew they could trust you in the ring on the main roster. I mean, it's not like they just said, oh, hey, just grab this guy off the street and throw him in there. They knew they could trust you to do the job. Who came to you with the idea?
Well, to be honest with you, I got my job when I came up. They did the Shawn Michaels. Everybody thought it was Shawn Michaels, the secret opponent against Mankind.
Yeah,
that's when I came back and I did the deal there. And what happened was Ed Ferrara and all saw me go into the ring, and they were like, "Man, look at this guy. He just likes being there."
Yeah.
Said, "Why don't we, put him in the job squad?" So I got hired in the job squad. I won the title and got, inducted into the job squad and everything. And I was in the job squad. And what happened was I was doing Gilberg on the independents, having fun. I was making fun of all the boys. I was doing Gilberg. I did Stone Old. I did the Underfaker. I was making fun of all the boys, just having a ball with it, right? And I was talking to Paul Bear and Kane back one night. We were doing a house show, and I was like, yeah, guys, man, I used to do this, I used to do Gilberg. And Paul Bear, I still remember, he looked at me and goes, oh, Duane Gill, you may have something there, boy.
Yep.
So the rest of the night, every time I walked by him and Kane, they were going, Gilberg. So the next day, we had TVs, and I was at catering, and everybody in catering at the time started going, Gilberg. So I slammed down my tray and well, when I came home 3 days later, I get a call. Hey, from the office, Duane, what's this Gilberg stuff, man? We want you to do it. And I'm like, well, I don't want to do it. And they said, why not? I said, I just won the title. I don't want to lose the title. And they said, we'll call you back. And they called back about an hour later and they said, we got it. How about if you wrestle heavyweights because you're a light heavyweight? And the count begins 0-1, 0-2. I said, I got it, man. Let's do it. That's what happened.
That's incredible that it caught on. You would think that over time, because I've heard and seen stories where Goldberg hasn't been too kind to the Gilberg character.
Oh, he hates.
Yeah, have you ever had a chance to talk to him one-on-one?
Yeah, yes, sir. And the last time I saw him, we were at the big event in New York.
Yeah.
And I said, I want to go down and talk to Goldberg. I want to go talk to Goldberg. And he said, all right. So I went down and I went to talk to him. What was it? Where he was signing in a separate room. So as soon as I walked up, he pressed me above his head and all that. And everybody got pictures and all. When he sat me down, I said, brother, while you're in a good mood, what do you say we do this match? I said, I'll make $100,000. You'll make $1 million. I can retire and you can go on with your life. He goes, nope. Nope. Wow.
Really? You had a real heat with him at one time, though, didn't you? I mean, because there were times I would hear him say things that just sound like he would kill you if he ever saw you.
I never knew the man or not. I liked Goldberg. Yeah. He was charismatic and all. I'll say it. Nobody else will. He couldn't wrestle, but he was very charismatic and the crowd loved him.
Oh, yeah. And that's what really counts. You got to connect with the crowd.
Well, let me, here's my take on that. I met Goldberg, great guy, rode with him and everything, man. I mean, I'm a really nice man.
Yeah.
When you first break into this business, sometimes like what Gilberg was doing, was maybe in Goldberg's eyesight, maybe more of mocking his character instead of Goldberg understanding that this is entertainment, this is a show. And that's what I really believe, because sometimes when you break into this business, you don't get that part of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. You start believing in your own gimmick. So I think he might have thought that they were making fun of him, but that wasn't making fun of him. That was really making him hotter. And if they had done something together, say maybe if they had Gilberg down, and they beating the dog shit out of him because hey, we're sick of you. You're not the real Goldberg. They're beating him down, and here comes the real Goldberg to save him. That they could have got a little bit of run out of that, but maybe maybe there was no money in it. I don't know.
Well, it's funny you sing that, Teddy, because that's something I actually thought of at the time. When everything was so hot, was man, it'd be great to see Gilberg get in there when everybody knew how much Goldberg was really pissed off about the angle, but to get Gilberg into the ring, like Teddy says, in a situation where he comes down for the save, would have popped the roof off that place.
Oh, yes, sir. I agree. And what about marketing? I mean, what about a Goldberg action figure set? I mean, come on, everybody wants to beat them up against each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you get the money. You get the money while you guys are hot. See, that would have been hot then. So that's when you start putting stuff out while you're hot.
Gilberg, let me ask you, on the road, the name of the show was Road Trip After Hours, and I know you've been up and down the road yourself, especially at our age. I know you travel much more than most of the guys do now. Tell me any road stories you can share with us, anything crazy or wild?
Brother, ain't no telling how many of them he got.
That's what I'm saying. Now I really would. I was upkeep right here. You know what I mean? But it's been so much fun, man. Everything, you know what I mean? It's been a lifelong dream. I ain't lying to you. I mean, the business, you know how it is. But still, when I won that title in WWF, I went right in Vince's office, crying my eyes out, and thanked him. You know what I mean? It meant the world to me. It's everything I ever worked for, I ever wanted to do. I won the World Series. I won the Super Bowl. That's what that was to me.
It's amazing to me, Duane, that a lot of people don't realize that when these guys or girls win a championship for the first time, especially in WWE, it's not just acting. What you're seeing in that ring for a lot of those folks is a real emotion that comes out because they worked years and years for that moment, and it finally came, and a rush of emotion hits them. And that's some of the best TV. When that happens, you see the real person, which, Teddy, you tell me all the time, that's what Vince wants. He wants real.
Yep. That's the truth, man. The man right there is Teddy Long. That man can tell you everything. He knows everything about this business. He's one of the smartest men I know in this business.
Teddy, you have any memories working with Gilberg?
Oh yeah, man. Let's put over James Ellsworth just for about 5 minutes. All right, we'll put him over for 5 minutes. That's all he needs.
Sorry, James.
He got a show. Eddie's allowing it a lot, man. We all work together on there.
Yeah. And the other thing too, like Gilberg was saying there, we worked a lot with James Ellsworth. He's got his own major company out there, and he always calls me every once in a while to come in for him. And Gilberg is always on those shows, and to be able to work with him and to just see him and talk to him, man, it's a great honor and great for me. I just enjoy going out, having a good time. And when you're with Gilberg, you're gonna definitely have a good time.
Yeah, it's funny because I met Duane. It was probably, 5-6 years ago. Maybe we were at an event up in North Georgia. I can't remember what Superstars or something like that. And I got a chance to talk to you and get an interview from you. And I actually thought, I was like, he's not going to give me the time of day. And I was still trying to break into doing what we're doing now. And you sat right there and gave me a great interview, as friendly as you could be. And I appreciate that, because a lot of guys don't always have that kind of time and don't afford you that time. And you were very welcoming to sit down and do an interview. And you were still a really hot thing at that time, for sure.
Yes, sir. Well, the reason I'm like that is because, like I said, I was a wrestling fan from I can remember. You know what I mean? Yeah. And there's been times I stood out back of the arena for hours waiting for my wrestler, but he was gone. Yeah. And I didn't know it, you know what I mean? Or you're standing there and you're holding it up and they just kind of walk by and ignore you. I know what I'm doing. So with me, I make sure that, and a handicapped person, to this day, a handicapped person has never paid for an autograph, a picture, anything from me. That will not never happen, man, because I know what it takes to get a handicapped person out there just to see us.
Yes.
take them home and have to deal with them the whole time and everything, like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And to me, that's an honor that they came out to see me, you know?
Yeah.
And especially if they're looking at you as one of their heroes, you know, you don't want to let them down. You
Yes,
certainly don't
yes.
want to let them down.
Yes, sir. And to me, I mean, like I say, I'm not only a wrestler, but I'm a fan too, a big
Yes.
time.
And I know we're running short. I mean, I know we're almost out of time. But Mac, I want to run this by Gilberg. You said that you was asking about a good story. Well, I just thought about something, and he can tell you about this. Now, here's a man right here that is certainly dedicated, and really, I mean, his whole life is dedicated to this business. Where did you drive from that night, man? From Virginia somewhere? It was a long drive. You drove from Atlanta back to Maryland or something. Tell me about that.
Are you talking about the one night that I was in Atlanta? I drove to Atlanta, wrestled, drove back to Maryland, and I had to get back here in time so that I could wrestle an afternoon show and then go to New York right after.
So now you tell me that ain't dedicated right there.
Yeah, that's extreme dedication. Duane Gilberg, I certainly appreciate your time today, brother. Anything coming up for you that you want to let us know about? Anything fans can know?
I'm wrestling Reading, Pennsylvania, Saturday night.
Oh, good. Do you know the name of the place or anything like that?
Yeah, go walk. Hold on for a second.
Yeah, man. Hey, Teddy Gilberg, I know you've had a lot of fun with Gilberg, and folks, if you have not seen Gilberg in person, you got to meet him. He really is a nice guy, but on top of that, he's hilarious as well.
Yeah, he's entertaining. He's real entertaining too, man. Yeah, great guy, man. Yeah, and look what he just told us. There are no handicapped person that's ever paid for an autograph. That's the first time I heard that from anybody.
Yeah,
I ain't even heard that from some top guys. You know what I mean?
No.
Golly, you know, that's
yeah, I agree.
That's something to think about.
Duane, you got information for us?
It just says Reading, PA.
Okay, he's going to be in Reading, Pennsylvania this weekend somewhere. But
well, we already know why he can't remember where he's supposed to be.
He's flying planes right now. Leave him be.
Yeah, the day is only Thursday, and he's got to be somewhere Saturday. So you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, I do understand. Duane Gilberg, thank you so much for being a guest on the show.
Hey, thank you so much. And Teddy, I want to take this time to say, man, thank you for all your kindness, all your knowledge, and all your help over the years.
No problem.
Really appreciate it, brother.
Hey,
having you as a friend means a lot.
Well, you're very welcome, man. Thank you. And I feel the same way, man. God bless you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. God bless you, man. Thanks for everything.
All right. This has been a new episode of Road Trip After Hours. I'm your host, Mac Davis. That is WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long. And, of course, our special guest, Gilberg.